actually. We're going to start. Just give me 1 second. We will start with Dave Charlesworth from PA, if that's okay. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, of course, Danny. Thanks, Danny. Joe, how are you? You all right?
I'm very good, thank you, Dave. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Start of a new summer, very exciting. How are you all feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited. Want to really get going, set this sort of tone for the summer, and we know how big a opportunity we have with these 7 Test matches, play against the 2 best sides in the world, and you know what a great opportunity to for this group of players, this squad of players, to lay down a marker for for the rest of the summer.
Are you able to provide any team news or shed any light on whether there'll be any debutants in this test?
We can definitely confirm one. James Bracey will make his debut, which is really exciting. He's worked extremely hard. He's been around the squad for a good while now. He's got a great work ethic. He's gone back and performed extremely well throughout the start of the season with Gloucestershire, and really excited to see him take his opportunity. We know how good a player he is, and he's in great form. So great chance for him. In terms of the rest of the squad, we haven't quite got that clarity exactly what we want to go in with yet. There's a few things we want to weigh up and be really sure on in terms of the balance of the side, and how that exactly looks. So hopefully we can get that to you at a later stage today.
I won't dwell on it too much then, but do you know whether you're going to go with the extra batsman or the extra bowler yet, or not?
Yeah, as I said, when you're missing a pivotal all-rounder, someone in the likes of Ben Stokes and the other all-rounders that have been around the squad for the last couple of years, it does change things slightly, and we're going to have to look at doing things slightly differently. But that provides a great opportunity for others to come in and show their worth, and gives them a great opportunity. So just with that in mind, we're just going to take a little bit longer to be really sure on what we think the best makeup of side is to tackle these conditions.
Just finally from me, obviously with Ben and Joss not there, I think it's been confirmed that Stuart Broad will be the vice captain. Could you just say a few words on that and how you reached that decision as well, I suppose?
Yeah, Stuart, he's been a senior player within this group for obviously a long time now. He speaks extremely well. He's got a very good cricket brain. He's got captaincy experience in the short format, and I think he's the right man to take that on in Ben and Joss's absence. He's an integral part of as a senior player and a leader, very much a leader within that bowling group. So I'm really pleased for him, and it's a great opportunity for him to take that on.
Lovely, thanks. Go well, cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. We'll go to John Norman, Talk Sport, for a couple, then Will Macpherson, Evening Standard. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, Joe. Just to pick up on the Stuart Broad subject, if that's okay. This time last year, first test of the summer, Stuart found himself dropped. Now he's vice captain. Can you just tell us a little bit about, we know a lot about what he can do with the ball, but a little bit about his character and temperament that can see him, even in his mid-30s, continuing to get past setbacks, and now finds himself about to vice captain England at Lords?
Yeah, I think he's at real peace with his game at the minute. He's got a very good understanding of how he's going to operate. He obviously is very comfortable within and understands his role within the squad and within the team. Knows what's required of him, and sets a very good example to younger players within the group. As with a lot of players, and most players in our sport, you have to be able to deal with setbacks and have to be able to come back and respond well to that. And it's part and parcel of the professional game, but he's done it exceptionally well. You don't play as many games as he has and have the record he does without having to go through some difficult moments in your career. And a lot of the time, it's how you respond to those. And I think he's always done that extremely well, and is why he's such a wonderful player and one of the best players in the world.
At the other end of the spectrum, James Bracey, will make his debut for England tomorrow. I mean, give us an idea of what it's like the eve before you make your debut. A few butterflies, excitement, phone calls back to the family. You've been there. What's he going to be going through today and tonight?
Yeah, I'll be managing a number of different emotions. Most of them will be pride, excitement, a little bit of anxiousness, which I think is a good thing. A few nerves in there, but it's part and parcel of the journey, and it's something that you have to embrace, something that you have to take on. And I think the most important thing is to be doing it at Lords as well, be extremely special for him. He's in a really good place in his game. As I said, he's full of confidence, he's full of form, and it's a great chance for him to really try and embrace it, enjoy what a great stage of your career you will be walking into.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, Will, and then John Etheridge. Go ahead, Will.
Hi, Joe. Could you give us a sense of what the state of play is with spin here this week? Do you think this is going to be a surface where you need a frontline spinner in Jack Leach? Obviously, he's the only kind of specialist in your squad. Have your own performances in India kind of changed the way, without Ben? Do you think they kind of changed the picture slightly, that you're able to offer more overs than you might have fancied previously?
Yeah, I think, off the back of this winter, I may have gained a little bit more confidence in myself. But again, it's a decision that we'll be toying with, and something that we have to be really sure on going into tomorrow. And it's something that we want a little bit more time to be really clear on in terms of balancing the side, making sure we give ourselves the best chance of taking 20 wickets. So, that's something that we just want a little bit more time to be really, really sure on. We know that if Jack plays, he will present a brilliant option for us in terms of spin, and hopefully as the game would progress, he would become a really attacking option as well as just providing a holding role, which might be seen to be the case in early summer in England. So again, it just comes down to that clarity within myself and within Chris as well as coach of what we want to go into the game with.
Is it quite a big challenge for you as captain not to have that kind of frontline all-rounder that you've had before, whether that's Ben or Moen or Chris or Sam Curran, whoever? You almost throughout your reign you've had a guy like that in the team, or two or three. So is that a big challenge for you this week?
It'll be a different challenge. There's always something that you have to contend with as a captain. There's always something that throws us a spanner in the works, if you like. But as I mentioned, we've got a number of guys that are more than capable of scoring runs down the order. One of the big incentives for this group, and one thing that we want to really push moving forward is trying to improve those lower order runs. So those bowlers have that added responsibility of trying to make sure they capitalize on opportunities to score runs and take that responsibility into their game, as well as just taking wickets and doing the frontline job in bowling. That's something that if we're going to grow as a team and we're going to become more consistent, we want to add those lower order runs. It's something that I don't want to talk too much about Australia, but something that we've struggled with in the past, and it's something that we need to address now ahead of that challenge. We're playing against the best two sides in the world this summer. It's something that I'm sure that they'll be looking to exploit, and an area that we want to keep looking to improve. So with that in mind, those guys have that responsibility to try and upskill themselves throughout this summer, and when they get their opportunities, to take that on and try and make some big contributions down there.
Cheers, Will. John, and then Julian.
Joe, hi. You were struck on the hand while batting yesterday. Was there a moment when you thought Stuart might have to captain the side?
No, I was actually, it caused a little bit of initial pain, but I felt pretty comfortable. I had full range of movement and stuff, and I knew that it was more a knock than anything else. So there wasn't too much panic in that regard. In terms of being ready for the game, I felt like I'd be able to get myself right. And thankfully today's gone well. Feel in a good place, got some good work done, and feel ready for the game.
Only looking at the sort of, the next few months, I mean, you mentioned Australia earlier, obviously a huge challenge first, 7 tests, so a lot to happen before then. But does it feel like the sort of start now of the real sort of build up towards that challenge in Australia?
Yeah, look, there's going to be constant conversations about Australia throughout this whole summer. There's no getting away from that. We've said that for a long time now. We've been planning towards that series. It's as an English fan, as an English player, it is such an iconic series, and it's one that holds so much weight. So it is of utmost importance, absolutely. How we're best going to perform and prepare ourselves for that is by performing well in these 7 test matches. Now, you talk about readying aside, winning 7 test matches going to Australia is the best way doing that, filling the side with confidence, implementing that game plan that we talk about quite frequently, being smart about taking 20 wickets, big first innings runs. They're all things that work very well in these conditions, but they also work well in Australia. And to be playing against the two best sides in the world currently this summer is a great opportunity for this group of players. We know that we're good in these conditions, but can we do it against the best? Can we get ourselves in a really strong position through performances, readying ourselves for that tour?
Thank you.
Julian, go ahead.
Yeah, just following on from that, Joe. I mean, often England get criticised for being obsessed by the Ashes. Does the fact you're playing the two best sides in the world at home sort of make you sort of concentrate on the task at hand that much more? And isn't there an argument for saying that's the best way to prepare for a series in Australia is just to go well against these two sides?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from my point of view, planning for Australia is in the background. It's something that we're obviously very aware of, and something that we'll consistently keep trying to talk about. What do we need to do to make sure that we can perform well there? What work do we have to do right now that's going to help us there? But a lot of that coincides with what's happening right now. And every test match means a hell of a lot to these players. It means a hell of a lot to me. And there certainly won't be, that won't be in our thoughts when we're out there playing these games. It'll be all about trying to win. And it'll be all about trying to do as much as we can to put 7 solid performances in, trying to keep improving as a team, keep learning from the experiences we've had this winter, albeit there'll be different challenges and there'll be different conditions to face. But in terms of the mental side of things, there's certainly elements of that we can take forward and learn from, and implement that into these 7 games. So if we can keep growing, keep learning, keep bettering ourselves all the time, naturally, with a full focus on these 2 games, these 2 series, then naturally we'll be in a really good spot when the Ashes come round.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll finish with Dean Wilson and Chris Stocks. Dean, all yours.
Yeah, hi Joe. First time you're going to have what would probably be a supportive crowd behind you for nearly 2 years. Does that bring with it a bit of extra excitement and motivation to put on a show for them?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it was great to see a number of you guys at the training days the last couple of days. Nice to have that interaction again, and it'll be great to have fans back in as well. Have that atmosphere back. Seeing people enjoying our sport again live. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it? I mean, as a kid growing up, going to those games meant a huge amount to me. It'd be great to see some youngsters in and around the crowd this week enjoying live cricket again. And for people to enjoy our sport live, I think it's really important. It's a step forward in many ways, and hopefully that can continue as the summer progresses, and we can really enjoy that as a sport.
I know you've named Stuart as vice captain. He's obviously got a lot of experience, but in terms of other sort of leadership roles in the side, is this a chance, do you think, for some of those younger guys who've played maybe in the teens or just less test matches to take a bit of a leadership role and kind of feel some of the things that the likes of Ben and Joss and so on might do? Yeah,
absolutely. And we talk about upskilling ourselves as players. That comes as well as just your individual roles as batters, as bowlers, as all-rounders. That comes in terms of leadership as well. It's how you grow your team, how you create a strong culture, is to try and help develop leaders within the group, and for guys to step up and take that on. And this is a great opportunity for some to do that, and it's a really exciting chance that that they can take that on and hopefully, as I say, better themselves and better the environment for that.
And just finally from me, have you decided what kind of anti-discrimination stance you might take? There's been a few questions about it. You've been talking about it for a while. Is there anything to say on that?
Yeah, we will be taking a moment of unity at the start of the game. New Zealand will also be doing that. They're happy to work alongside us and support us in that manner. We know that at the start of last summer, it unearthed some ugly truths within society and within our sport. And we have had those, some long discussions about things. We've spent a lot of time talking about how we can better our game, how we can educate ourselves more. We work with the PCA and with the ECB in trying to find ways of doing that. And we've done some workshops recently to try and make ourselves feel more comfortable dealing with those issues within the game and educating ourselves further. Throughout this summer, we'll be looking at working on with hopefully 3 projects where we can try and take the game to more diverse areas in and around the country, where we can, continue to look to grow the game and offer our help and support in doing that. And I think that's really exciting. We spent a lot of time talking about these sort of things. I think now this year is all about action. It's about actually doing something about it. And it has taken time. We wanted to make sure that we're really clear about how we're going to make a difference and better our sport. And hopefully this year we can really start to make a difference and keep that conversation current and make sure that that it is a game for everyone. We make our game more diverse, and we do as much as we can in that regard to grow the game and to make everyone feel comfortable playing cricket.
Just to follow up on that then, Joe, is that when you talk about helping sort of 3 projects, is that financially? Is it actually your time and making appearances as players to support them? How might that manifest itself?
I think the most valuable thing that as players and in the roles that we have is to give our time, and ideally that is exactly what we'd look to do. We know that in many ways we are the shop window of our sport. We're right at the top of the game and top of the pyramid, and we want to try and help as much as we can. And I think giving our time is probably the most valuable way of doing so. And if we can make a difference in a number of different areas, then we're very keen to do that. It's something, as I say, we've spent a lot of time talking about and trying to better ourselves for and find the best ways of doing that. And hopefully, along with the other stuff as well, that is one thing we can give back to the game and try and make a real difference in.
Great, thanks. And I presume the moment of unity is the same as it was at the start of the championship season around the boundary edge? Yeah,
it's and I think trying to work alongside, not just as an international team, but throughout the whole system of cricket with the grassroots, with the partners as well, try and do as much as we can as a collective to really make a difference.
Thank you.
That's something we can do.
Thank you, Dean. Last one, Chris Stocks.
Hi, Joe. I just wanted to double check with Stuart getting the vice captaincy. Does that mean he plays both these tests and won't be rested or rotated?
It certainly gives him a better chance of doing so. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, you don't know how this game's going to go, but it certainly gives him a better chance.
Okay, so you might be naming a new vice captain before Edgbaston then.
Well, ideally not. I'm talking like if there's any injuries or anything, then you just never know. But as I say, it's a great opportunity for him to take that on, and hopefully it means he can get running the team.
All right. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers.
Brilliant. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.